Raimbek Matraimov is a Kyrgyz politician. He was the deputy chair of the State Customs Service of Kyrgyzstan. After being fired in late 2017, Matraimov became a central figure in an ongoing large-scale money laundering case. One of the biggest scandals in the history of Kyrgyz politics. Matraimov was born in the village of Agatu, in Karasu district of Osh Oblast, Kyrgyzstan. He started working at the State Customs Service in 1997 as a regular inspector. In 2004 he started his steady rise within the service. He was first appointed head of the Human Resources Department at the Southern Department of the State Customs Service. A year later he became deputy head of the Southern Department. His longest managing position tenure lasted for 6 years. From 2007 till 2013 Matraimov was head of Osh Department of the State Customs Service. In 2013 he was promoted to chair the whole Southern Department, of which Osh Department was part of. Finally, in 2015 he became deputy chairman of the whole State Customs Service. His highest government position to date. First reports that Matraimov had significant unexplained wealth surfaced in 2017. When a number of Kyrgyz media outlets wrote stories about sports clubs that Matraimov had built around his native southern part of Kyrgyzstan and about a luxurious mansion that he built for himself in the center of Osh, the second biggest city in the country. Matraimov denied claims made by journalists, but despite this he was fired by then-President of Kyrgyzstan Almazbek Atambayev in November 2017. After Atambayev stepped down as the president in December 2017, Matraimov filed a lawsuit against the state, and in 2018 the court made a decision to reinstate him as the deputy head of the customs service. Despite the court decision, Matraimov preferred not to return to the position, but at the same time he switched to a more public lifestyle. Previously known as a government official who had barely ever given a single interview to the media, Matraimov released his first ever video statement in May 2019. He again denied any allegations of corruption, and said that he was a victim of a smear campaign by the former president Atambayev. In the same month, the charity foundation run by Matraimov's family organized a volleyball tournament in Osh Oblast of Kyrgyzstan, and a number of high-profile Kyrgyz politicians visited it, including Dastan Jumabekov, Speaker of the Kyrgyz Parliament, and Kubatbek Boranov, then Vice Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan. Despite this display of his connections in politics, Matraimov kept being a central figure in further corruption investigations by Kyrgyz journalists. On May 30, 2019, the Kyrgyz edition of Radio Liberty published its first major investigation about the possible source of wealth of Matraimov. In the investigation, Radio Liberty journalists claimed that Matraimov earned his wealth while being part of a corruption scheme that allowed a group of Chinese companies led by the secretive Abdukadar family bring goods into Kyrgyzstan without paying any customs fees. One of the major sources of the investigation, a self-confessed money launderer Ayakan Saimaithi who worked for Abdukadars, was murdered in Istanbul in November 2019. Although Matraimov denied any links with the murder of Saimaithi, the next part of the journalism investigation about him, heavily based on interviews with Saimaithi, was published on November 21, 2019, 10 days after the assassination of Saimaithi. This time it was a joint investigation by Radio Liberty, OCCRP and Klub, a Kyrgyz media outlet, and it revealed more details about the corruption schemes at the Kyrgyz Customs Service. According to November investigations, Matraimov not only backed illegal activities of the Abdukadar family business, but got involved in at least one joint real estate project with them. Matraimov's wife Ulkan Turganova was revealed to be a co-owner of an estate in Dubai together with one of the Abdukadar family members. Neither Matraimov nor his wife have ever had an official salary that would allow them to invest into such an expensive project. 4 days after the November publications, hundreds of people took part in a protest in front of the Kyrgyz government headquarters in Bishkek, demanding from authorities to investigate corruption scheme described in the new part of the Journalism investigation. Matraimov and his family kept on denying all the accusations. And in December 2019 they filed a lawsuit against Radio Liberty and Club. While Reporters Without Borders named this lawsuit absurd and called on a court to dismiss it. This never happened. Matraimov and his family demand more than 700,000 euros of compensation from media outlets. But there have not been any verdict given yet. Matraimov is married to Ulkan Turganova, who appeared in journalism investigations alongside him. After analyzing Turganova's private social media accounts, Kyrgyz journalists revealed she owned expensive watches, a